Hello students, today in this video we will be covering the first chapter of physics, that is matter. Look around you, see the different things that are present around you. You might be sitting on a chair right now, looking at your laptop or computer. There might be some books on the table, your pencil box, a fan on the ceiling, a window and a door in your room. So everything that you see around you is matter. Matter occupies space. So when you keep the books, the computer or laptop or your pencil box on the table, they occupy some space on the table. Similarly, a glass of water gets filled when you pour more and more water inside it because water occupies space. So we can say that matter is anything that occupies space. Now, if you are holding one book, you can feel the weight of that book. Then, if you start holding more number of books, the weight increases. As you keep on increasing the number of books, it becomes heavier and heavier. Hence, we can say that matter has mass. Now, let us look at the definition of matter. Anything that has mass and occupies space or volume is called matter. Volume is the amount of space occupied by a body. Some of the examples of matter are our body, trees, air, water, chair, table, books, computer, and so on. To live, each living being breathes in air, that is oxygen. We also need water for survival, and our body needs some energy in order to do various activities. So we need air, water and energy for our survival. And to live constantly, we are using substances in different physical states around us. And they are all different forms of matter. In nature, matter exists in three different states, namely solid, liquid and gas. All these states of matter are made up of very small particles which exist independently. And these particles are called atoms or molecules. The arrangement of molecules provides shape and volume to any matter. And these particles are so small and they are so tiny that they cannot be seen from human eye. Now let us learn about the intermolecular space and the intermolecular force of attraction. Look at the first diagram. You can see that there are some space between the particles, and these space are known as intermolecular space. So the space between the particles are known as intermolecular space. In the second diagram, you can see that the particles attract each other with a force. And this force of attraction which exists between the particles are known as intermolecular force of attraction. Now let us learn about the different states of matter one by one. The first one is solid. A solid has a definite shape and a definite volume. We can only change the shape of a solid by cutting, squeezing, crushing or melting it. Now suppose you are holding a book on your hand. If you place the book on the table, the shape of the book won't be changed. You can only change the shape of the book by either tearing the pages or by applying any external force on it. It will not change its shape on its own. Similarly, for any other solid object, we cannot change the shape of the object until and unless we are applying any external force on it. So, until and unless it is being cut, squeezed, crushed or melted, solids will retain their original shape. So this is one of the reasons why we say that solids have a definite shape and a definite volume. Their shapes and volumes are fixed and they do not change on their own. We can only change the shape of the solid by applying any external force on it. A solid may be hard, soft, smooth or rough. Their surfaces may vary. Some of the examples of solids are stone, a plastic bottle, rubber ball, and some metals. Now coming to the second state of matter, that is liquid. Liquid has a fixed volume but no fixed shape. Liquids take the shape of the container they are poured in. Now suppose you have a glass of water and you want to pour it in a bowl. What happens when you pour a glass of water in a bowl? You will notice that the shape of the liquid changes. Why does this happen? This happens because the particles cover up all the available spaces they have in the glass. And when they are poured in some other container, say bowl in this case, it will again try to cover up all the available spaces and it will reach out for all the empty corners in the bowl. So it will take up the shape of the bowl. So this is the reason why we say that liquids take up the shape of the container in which they are poured in. Some of the examples of liquid are water, petrol, diesel, kerosene, etc. Now moving on to the third state of matter, that is gas. Gases neither have a fixed shape nor do they have fixed volume. Usually gases are colorless and it is very difficult to observe them. Now suppose a glass is kept on a table and it does not contain any solid or liquid inside it. Now if I ask you what is there inside the glass, you may tell me that the glass is empty, but in fact it is not. The glass is full of air, and air is a mixture of gases. So we can say that the glass is filled with gases. Some of the examples of gases are oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, LPG, CNG, etc. Now, one of the most important property of gases is the ability to spread out to occupy all the available spaces. A gas can spread out and it can occupy all the available space. For example, if there is a leak from an LPG cylinder or the connecting tube, we can smell it in the kitchen or in the adjoining room. And because of this, we are aware of the danger. Similarly, if we spray room fresheners in a corner of the room, it spreads out in the entire room and we can get the smell or the fragrance from the whole of the room. So this is one of the most important property of a gas, that is its ability to spread out. In the next video, we will be discussing about the difference between solid, liquid and gases based on their arrangement of molecules.